Why do you want to antagonize this man now? There's no reason for this. Brock, think about this. Brock?
So, you really want to go through with this, huh? End your career tonight. Lay it all on the line. Get in the ring with the next big thing. The guy that's going to Summerslam for the WWE title, huh? Step in the ring, toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar? Is that what you want?
You're so young. Full of life. You got the world in the palm of your hand. No injuries, man. You got it made. But if I was you, I would lay it all on the line. I would put it all up for grabs. I'd prove the point you're trying to prove. If I was you, I would put my shot at the WWE title at SummerSlam. I'd put it on the line tonight. I would put that on the line if I was you. But then again, you're not Hulk Hogan, are you?
That's what you want, huh? That's what you have. Yeah. Let's do it. Tonight.
What the hell did you just do? Do you realize what you just did? What in the hell? Are you out of your mind? Do you know who that man is? That is Hulk Hogan. 20 years of defying the odds. Don't think of this guy as the guy that slammed Andre the Giant. Think of him as the legend that beat Triple H for the title just a few months ago. He always overcomes adversity. That's his whole MO. He played you. You got suckered.
What's the matter, Paul? You losing confidence in me? Huh? What's the matter? You scared?
Can't believe this.
Damn it.
Episode of the Draft Diaries, episode 3, and I am here. I should have got you for episode 4. No,
that'd have been fire. I was hoping it was episode 4, but I'm goalie, so I'll take 3. When it's me and now, you could, yeah.
Absolutely, we are back. First of all, this man has not been on since the Invasion Diaries, which was, I guess, last year. I was about to say quite some time ago, but it was literally last year.
It was in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah.
We got the host of Ugly Radio himself, Ugly New York, Rob. What is good, bro?
What's good, Meelz? I missed this. It feels right. I'm glad to be back.
We've never done one just the two of us, by the way.
No, this is why it's special. This is why I'm hyped. That's why I'm so fucking hyped.
We've never done one that is just both of us, so this is gonna be a fun experience, man. Listen, we're at the year of 2002. What can you remember from your life from the year 2002?
02 is like, it's a mixture of a year, because it's like, that's when I really started listening to like rap and stuff. So like 01, Dipset is on the rise, crazy. 02,
actually, is 02 is a little well, I don't know, depends.
Well, like 01 you knew of them, but like 02 is when
right.
Started getting, yeah.
We talked about that a couple episodes ago. Cam Come Home With Me and like
yeah. So like my cousins was like big Dipset fans,
right?
And I would hear it by them, and then the second I heard like Cameron's flow, like it was over. Like I love this group. But like 02, It's a blur, bro. It depends. I have to like see something, and I'll be like, oh wait, I remember
Post
this.
9/11. How about
Post
that?
9/11 is wicked.
Because that's like a big. I'm trying to like. All right, what happened in like post 9/11 type thing? 02. What else happened in 02? I mean, they were big. We got the only 02 really is like defined by like music, which we've already talked about music and movies. So like the movies that came out, like Lord of the Rings and like Harry Potter, if you're into that, and then the music is like Dipset.
Potter was in 02?
I believe so, yeah.
What?
I know, right? What game systems?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you find out stuff that's happening in 02, and like, yo, I lived it, and then you just forget. Like,
how old are you?
Wicked time. 02. Damn, I was 92, so I was like, what, 10?
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, I was 12. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I was 10. Yeah. So it's like it's a blur. Like, I remember bits and pieces. I remember like stuff that like stuck with me, but
2002. Let's see what else happened in 2002.
02. I'm trying to check now. Like, yo, what the fuck happened?
Shit is crazy. Okay, I don't know. Listen, the world is also like, 2002, maybe.
Like, we still recovering about like what happened.
Absolutely. No, that's that ass. That's exactly what's happening.
The Eminem show was 02.
Eminem show was 02.
Damn.
You had any favorite albums from that year? What do you think about it?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure it was.
So,
let me see what albums came out. Besides Dipset, I mean, I was on my Eminem shit. People need to stop lying. Like, they weren't listening to Eminem back in the day. I know it's a joke to like shit on him, because obviously now he makes like Call of Duty music. But like, you gotta be real with yourself. You was listening to it back in the day, and if you're lying,
rap so too.
The Blueprint 2.
Blueprint 2. We talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Lord Willin. My pop bought me Lord Willin. I did have Nellyville.
I had the Nellyville bootleg.
Godson came out. I remember that.
I remember that. Made You Look. You a slave. Was that Made You Look or Got Yourself? I don't remember.
Who else? Oh yeah, Come Home With Me, of course. 50's album, Guess Who's Back. This was like early
50's album. Yo, oh shoot! You know what I could quickly run by with you? Okay, let's see. Let's go through the popular songs. There's got to be one-hit wonders of 2002.
Of course, as always.
One-hit wonders 2002. Let's see quickly before we head into the other stuff. So one-hit wonders of 2002. Okay. Let me see.
Wow, that came out in 02. 500 Degrees? Jesus Christ.
Hey, 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton.
Big classic.
If you're going to go up,
classic.
if you got one hit, make it 1,000 miles.
Exactly. Still played to this day. That's what's crazy. She's kicking with that forever.
Addictive by Truth Hurts. Do you remember that song? It had like the Indian sample and like Rakim. I wonder if I play it. No one's checking for Truth Hurts, right? I don't want to play it and then I'm like, fuck.
I'll play it off my phone. You think they'll hear it? Like, is the
maybe.
YouTube algorithm that crazy?
They just threw her songs back up on streaming. Like the samples, if you sample Indian music, they coming after you for real. Truth Hurts.
Oh, chill. I don't want that. Like, yo, bro, I already have problem with DMCAs. I'm not trying to get it because I couldn't find the song.
Yeah, nah, forget it. So they had that. They said Bump 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 by B2K. Oh.
I remember that. TR was going crazy.
Is B2K a one-hit wonder?
No, they're not one-hit wonders. I don't think so. I wouldn't classify them as that.
I mean, this is their biggest hit. Let me check the charts. Hold on.
I don't think they're one-hit wonders. Hell no.
B2K discography. I gotta see where the rest of their songs charted because this will definitely. Bump 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 is number 1. I mean, they kind of like one-hit wonders now. I think.
Oh wow! Because they had the original, the self-titled. Then they had Pandemonium. I remember Pandemonium. And then.
I think they're fringe. They're respected in the community.
Bro, they made You Got Served, so I'm never gonna hate.
Don't Mess With My Man by Nivea. That's a one-hit wonder. I would say that.
Crazy. Okay.
Down For You by Irv Gotti. I think whoever made this list doesn't know who Irv Gotti is, nor that.
Yeah,
it's on the song.
Yeah, that's Bees. What? He's weird anyway. I don't wanna.
Do you listen to The Hives? Have you ever listened to The Hives?
What song is it though?
Hate to Say I Told You So. I've never heard this song.
Why does it sound familiar? I'm trying to like sing it in my head. What? Hold up.
Pull it up.
Hold up.
The Hives ain't gonna get us. The Hives don't get us pulled. Will they?
Is that the song? Hate to say I told you so. Hold on. Is that? Oh wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure it's that. Hold on, let me see. I got the times. I'm pretty sure it's that song. It is, yeah.
Hey, okay, now I remember it.
Yeah, okay, I've heard this. I heard
That's fire. That's fire.
this is that background trailer music. When the things go wrong, that's how they set the plot up. Hate to say I told you so, and then like an explosion happens.
Oh shit. My Neck, My Back by Kaya.
I remember that, yeah.
I remember that. I only put the clean versions on playlists because it's still it's too raunchy. Just to have it like out there, just to like.
Oh yeah,
play
but
it.
that's like imagine me like I'm at like my grandma's crib watching like MTV and shit, and then they play the video, but it's obviously it's the safe one, but still.
Yeah, it's still wild. No Letting Go by Wayne Wonder.
Big classic.
Big classic. Oops Oh My by Tweet.
Oops, oh my. Yeah, I remember that one.
Still Fly by Big Timers. I know this song.
Big classic too. That's a one-hit wonder?
I guess so. I guess Big Timers aren't really like. I mean,
Alright,
but you think of Manny. I guess collectively, but like Birdman got.
Yeah.
I mean, Birdman is.
Does Robin to That Boy count?
That's a hood hit. I would say
that's
that's.
yeah. It's a hood hit.
Let's see.
It
You might have.
alright. What's the name of the person that made this list? That's like the real telling answers.
This was literally just hotpopsongs.com.
What?
Have you heard Youth of the Nation by POD?
Yeah, it's a classic. They play that in WWE packages.
Okay, I'm just
sure.
maybe bugging on the name.
We are. It's when they did the Columbine shits. I didn't mean to say it like that. It's when they shot up Columbine and then they made that song as like a reference to it.
Wherever You Will Go, The Calling. I gotta remember that. Let me see.
Wherever You Will Go? No, I don't remember that one. I gotta hear it.
On The Calling. Let me skip a little bit.
Okay, yeah, but see, this is that white dramedy. Like, this is when bro's walking down the street, he sees shorty across the way, they lock eyes, and then like the newspaper flies through the middle of the screen and she's gone. That's what that music is.
Eddie White guy.
Was Creed popping in 02? Creed had to be popping.
Creed was 01. Creed was 01.
Really?
They didn't even bounce back, to be honest with you. They didn't even like come back.
Well, he didn't. The rest of the band did. They're the ones that do Edge's music.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Alter Bridge is all Creed except the frontman.
Oh, word? I didn't even know that. Wow. You learn something new every day.
So Edge, yo, I know who does the music for your thing. They're all from Creed. See if he unblocks you.
Let me see. Okay, what else was one-hit wonders? I guess there wasn't many one-hit wonders in 2002. This is very much still to be there kind of thing. But with that said, also what we're talking about from 2002. So this flashback is definitely wrestling related, and this is for those who have not seen it. We're taking it back to Tough Enough 2 in 2002. Did you watch the original Tough Enough? Let me ask you that.
Here and there. So like in these years, I was like on and off of wrestling. It really depended like what my cousins were watching. I got into wrestling because of them. So like if they were watching it, I'd watch it. I was never really at the crib tapped in to see what Stone Cold's gonna do unless I was at their crib.
Ooh,
But I did see some of the original Tough Enough.
right.
And
And
as
you know,
I watched this one,
media.
yeah. And as I watched this one, all the flashbacks came. I'm like, holy shit.
So 2002 was kind of like the precipice of the new reality era, which like celebrity reality era, and it started with also another reality show on MTV called The Osbournes.
That was 02 as well.
That was 02. I wanted to.
Sharon. I remember he was wilding all the time. Sharon.
I was like, is he on medication or something?
I
Like,
think
does he?
so. Ozzy lived a crazy life, bro.
He lived a wild, crazy life. He was super old back then, and now he's like still. One, he's still alive. God bless him. But
Honestly, I'm not even saying. But shout out to Ozzy.
but we got a lot of reality show. Making the Band 2 was in 2002, where it made the band. And then also we had, you know, the MTV WWE connection. Sunday Night Heat was on MTV, which is a wild thing to consider because like I don't remember any. I wish I remember more like interviews and stuff from MTV Sunday Night Heat.
I don't really remember much. I remember catching like Velocity at some point, but
See, they would host it in New York in Times Square. It was trying to give very like VJ type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Cole hosting Sunday Night Heat in New York City. It's crazy back here. We're
alive. There's a crowd there, like,
and just go to tape matches and shit like.
That reminds me of like when you ever watch the old Shotgun Saturday Night matches and shit?
No, I haven't in a while.
So like when they would do that, they would legit just go to like random venues and just have a match. That's where they did Triple H and Undertaker in fucking Grand Central. And he got tombstone on the escalator.
Oh,
yeah. I'm like, yo, bro, if his hair gets caught, it's over.
Oh shit. One day we gotta talk to Triple H about that match.
That's the best one though. You don't gotta watch the rest of them, but that's like the best one.
So Tough Enough 2 is obviously the sequel to Tough Enough. This is also coming in the same year American Idol pops off. So everyone is into this like reality show competition, making ass of yourself on national television, and which is very much so prominent through this. So I asked you to watch the first episode of this.
How did you episode 2?
I did episode 2 or episode 1?
2.
All right, I watched episode. Why would I? Episode 2? You sure?
Told me 2, bro.
Okay, all right. So I'm.
You told me 2, so I'm like, all right.
Listen, I'm bugging. All right, I gotta check. Hold on. All right, whatever. So I can tell you.
You didn't tell me episode 1. I watched episode 2.
All right, well, whatever. Right. So, what did you think about the cast?
Yo, bro, I'm watching it and I'm like, holy shit! They got the young Shad, R.I.P. Shad.
R.I.P.
They have my
Shad.
son, Matt Morgan, early Matt Morgan. They had Tommaso's wife, which I completely.
That's which one's? It's that girl. The
really
Tara Reid.
Yeah, like blonde, I believe so. She's like mad skinny or whatever, and then
yeah.
JR is like, she shows heart, and then they just cast her into it. Who else was there?
So you didn't watch the first episode? All right, so let me flash you on the first episode, which is hilarious. It's the audition process, right? So everyone's making an act.
Because they were showing auditions still in my episode that I was watching.
Oh, word? Okay.
In 2, they were still showing it, but they showed you who they ended up picking for like the top 25.
So was your episode like the 40-minute long episode or the?
Mine was like 45 minutes.
Don't we watched the same episode?
Oh, I mean, so run through the first one and we can talk the second one.
All right, no. All right, so they do the audition process, where JR is like they have like these out of shape guys doing the thing. The dude looks like a tube sock just doing. They got essentially what they were doing was an audition process similar to American Idol, but way less stage. Because clearly, with Tough Enough, you have the WWF producers. You got Kevin Dunn there.
He looked crazy.
He looked absolutely insane. You had John Gaborik, who like you only know if you watch Tough Enough because, and then I think he had a prominent role in TNA at some point. You had JR. You had Al Snow, of course, father of all Tough Enough, MTV legend at this point. Hardcore Holly, for whatever reason, I guess they didn't want him fighting people.
I guess so. Yeah, I was like, yo, bro, just go do this.
And Ivory, who was also like, just go do this.
She was wilding too.
But I feel like she was cool out of all the judges.
No, she was cool, but she was really like testing the shorties. Like, yo, do you really want this?
Go jump in the water type thing.
Yeah,
I think they did that legitimately because they were bored and had to be there for like 16 hours. So they were just telling people, go jump in the water, make us entertain us, because we've been here for like 12 hours and all this shit is y'all marks trying to get over yourself with like I'm the I'm this, I'm that, I'm the warrior.
What killed me was the dude who showed up. Like his pictures was like him chiseled out, had the abs. Shows up, my son flabbed out. He's like, nah, I just like to eat. This is from my birthday time. 3 weeks?
Like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
Didn't even have an answer, just dip. Like,
oh my god. So they had, you know what the funniest story was? To me, one of the funniest stories. Josh Matthews' older brother.
Yeah, I felt so bad. I felt like secondhand embarrassment. Like,
I didn't feel bad. He was a hater. He was like,
he was a hater, but I felt bad. Like, yo, bro, don't do this. Like,
my kid brother, he don't even look like
living my dream.
Yeah, he was like, it's living my dream. I can't, stand. I've been
just laughing at him. Like, he's doing better than you, right? Like,
he got a job, right? What are you doing? Fuck it. They got. I wrote down this girl Annie, which is like the prototype for Charlotte.
Yeah.
Just super buff, blonde, white chick. And JR is like, anytime you're like over 6 foot and like bigger than you're supposed to be, JR is like, that's blue chipper right there.
JR was killing me because there was a dude who was a Mormon. And like, they asked him like, yo, you don't have sex? He's like, no, my parents told me to save it. And then JR is just like, you must have a tight grip, huh? And I'm like, yo, bro, what? Why would you ask him that? Like,
television, baby. But the thing is, they got the WWF judges there, but they equally also have the MTV producers there because this is still a reality show. So they're still, you have to cast people who not only, that's why that kid Danny didn't get initially the ginger haired guy who finished first in the running thing.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't beautiful enough. He was like, nah, you like wild regular, like just ginger, like you athletic and you cool and you could probably make it, but
he was like the first one done. And
yeah,
curved him. I was so tight. I was like, yo, bro, he's
you're
putting his heart out there in front of Tazz.
You're ginger. Call yourself the Danimal. You're not it. So
we're looking for, pal.
Right. They're trying to cast for a reality TV show. That's why they went with the hotter version of him, which was like, what's my man's name? Pete or something? I don't know. He looked like a Pete. I feel like it. Like they obviously went with some other guy over him for sure. Amazing Kong was in this.
Awesome. It was wicked to see all these like wrestlers we see get better within like TNA, and
Shelly Martinez was there, like but in like the background. Ken Kennedy was there. I know that's
what's
crazy.
His name? The MAGA dude. That's a bad explanation.
Jackson Riker.
There we go. Him. He was there.
Jackson Riker. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to pull up. Maybe I could pull up one clip. Let's see. Tough Enough 2. Let's see if I can pull this up without it.
I don't flag you for Tough Enough.
If
it's old and blurry enough, you might get away with it.
It's definitely old and blurry. You think I was coming with the clear?
The HD?
Well, yeah. Not coming with the HD. Hold on, let me do this. Let me switch it around. Let's see if I can pull up this, share my screen a little bit. No, I want to post the other one. There we go. Let's see if we could do this. Do you hear it?
My name's John. I grew up in Valparaiso and I'm 22 years old. I was vice president
Dog
of the
John Morrison.
last year. I'm active in the Kung Fu Club, and I also break dance like a couple nights a week.
Nothing's jiggling on him, which is kind of inspiring.
Okay, thank you. Some of it's an athlete.
Some people play a
Son
song,
is
but
an athlete. He's
that,
wild.
get off on that. For me, I learned a new physical skill. That's when I've had a good day. I learned how to do a backflip with a twist. I'm like, damn, that was a good day.
Can you do the spin-a-rooney?
What's the spin-a-rooney?
So you don't watch our programming? You're not a fan of the WWF? You don't watch Booker T?
Does it?
That's a pretty good spinneroonie.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'd like to be in the WWF because
Nah,
I
he's
think
just a white
it
guy
suits my personality
breakdancer.
very.
Oh shit, hold on. I fucked up. Nah, he's just a white guy breakdancer.
He
But
won 3, right?
yeah, he didn't even make it to this.
Nah, he didn't make it. I was like reading up on the whole shit. And it was like he didn't make it because they didn't like his attitude.
Which I can see. He looked like a show off kind of. Like
He was wilding.
yeah, being wild athletic in front of
What's
other
a
athletes.
spinneroonie? Does it? Like, yo, bro, if you know what it is, just do it. You don't gotta lie to me.
We also saw the eventual. Well, we got a couple other guys here. We have Hawk, who is I have no idea who he becomes.
Hawk.
He was like the guy who had ADHD with like. The
Oh
weird,
yeah, he was wilding. Okay.
yeah.
I
Linda
felt sad for him.
Linda
They
Miles.
were doing their backstage, like the behind the booth confessional shit.
Feel like this nigga's a
Did you see
weirdo.
that part?
No, what did they say?
So like they're all talking about like I guess embarrassing stuff or stuff they done. And he's talking about how he made some girl leave him to go with another girl.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he's talking about it mad casual. I'm like, yo, bro, that's nothing to be like. You don't gotta tell them that. You have mad stories you can tell.
he wanted to make MTV. He for sure, because
I
there's
feel
no way. Linda Miles, who eventually wins it, then gets rebranded as I think it's Shaniqua, and she was with the
she's
brother.
Shaniqua. She was my dog, the Bashams.
And then Jackie Gata, who jumps into the pool, who also wins it. This had a controversial ending this season.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be one male, one female, and then it
And
was
then they
like,
picked
nah, we're taking two shorties now.
and
Everybody was
Kenny
hot.
King and the firefighter guy was
Yo,
tight.
bro, when I saw Kenny King, I was like, holy shit. He's been around for so long. And he just got popping in ROH and all that.
I know. And I was like, yo, you still never made it to the WWE, but God bless him. Like,
Got the
was
MTV money for a little bit. Wasn't he in The Bachelor too?
yeah, he
Or
was.
Bachelorette? Something
Come
like
on, man. Reality TV is IMDb is stacked.
that. Feel me.
Then we had the guy who hates Tazz, which is
That
like
was so funny, bro. They only picked him because he hated Taz. Yeah. Then when they did the running and Taz pulled up, you're a piece of shit. I'm like, yo, what?
I feel him not saying anything back because he would immediately got cut. But to be honest,
sure.
you probably would have got cut anyway.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, what you had nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah, I might have just been made a reality TV career about cussing out Taz on national television. Like,
That'd have been the subject of his pod years down the line.
with Taz.
That's one with Taz. They make up. Remember when I pressed you? Like,
Oh God. Shout out to the girl who showed up late, Alicia.
yeah, she beats it mad casual.
Nah, that's legitimately how I approach going to WWE shows. Like, doors open at 6, I'm like, all right, I'm there at 7. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't gotta-
you just get to walk straight in. I don't gotta wait in
Yeah.
line. I don't gotta go. Depending where you go, which place got I think Barclays has the worst security people than MSG.
I hate Barclays. They're just testing me because I do want to see DX come back for like that one moment, but I don't want to go to Barclays. They jump Seth at Barclays. I can't have it.
Nah, they're wild at Barclays. They don't respect Barclays as much as they do MSG. Like, it's not even close, to be honest with you. Like, they doing this because it's the season premiere of Raw. But if it was like October 26th, like, it would have been a regular ass Raw at Barclays. Oh God. This might come out after the Barclays thing too, so it is what it is. But actually, it definitely will. Let's act like it was a great show. It was fantastic.
Barclays season premiere. I tell you, I was there.
All right, let's go to pretty much that was Tough Enough 2, by the way. Tough Enough 2 you can definitely catch on Peacock. It's definitely an adventure if you like to watch people learn how to wrestle, but then also try to produce a show on MTV to like make people cheat on their significant others. Because I'm pretty sure the storyline for Jackie Gato was that she cheated on whatever boyfriend she was with Pete.
Yeah. Yeah, they were just making shit up. I ended up watching more episodes because, like, damn, now I'm invested. Tazz shitting on people.
That's reality.
Yeah.
That's reality TV. And Tazz got to be a judge because he pretty much retired from wrestling at this point.
Yeah, it was over at this point. Triple H put him in the dirt. It was over.
All right, let's go to pretty much what we're talking about this episode, which is the Summer of Brock. The Summer of Brock Lesnar. But
Big body Brock.
Before we get into that, we got to do the catch up from the last episode. So the last episode was actually the go home show for Vengeance 2002, which was Eric Bischoff becoming the general manager of Monday Night Raw and Stephanie McMahon becoming the general manager of Friday nights, or not Friday, it was Thursday, Smackdown, whatever. Thoughts on, were you watching around this time? Did you have any idea? Did you care?
A little bit. Taker Rock angle is like one of my favorite triple threat matches ever. You want to know how to do a triple threat, you watch that one. But I was here and there. This is like, what was it, July? What happened?
No, I was just about to talk about that, the Vengeance 2002. But Vengeance, I mean, we'll talk about it. Vengeance 2002, greatest triple threat, one of the greatest triple threat matches ever. Undertaker versus The Rock versus Kurt Angle, WWE Undisputed Champion.
Always throw it on. Yeah.
It's just.
What was on this show? I'm looking at the show now. Dudley's versus Benoit Guerrero.
That was
Jamie
good.
Versus Billy Kidman.
That was good.
Jeff versus William Regal.
Could have been on Raw. Probably was.
Early Cena versus Jericho.
Was definitely on SmackDown.
My son RVD versus Lesnar for the IC.
That was good. This was the rematch from their King of the Ring 2002, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But that summer program Brock Lesnar had with RVD was pretty good. It was clear that like they gave a damn about RVD enough for him not to be immediately demolished in like 4 seconds.
RVD was always like in like upper mid cards too. Like he was always there, somewhere slotted in the main event too. If he's not on his mid card shit, he's in the main event. He was in the first Elimination Chamber, fighting Brock. He's gone against Taker. All these people.
Yeah. 2002 was a good year. Won the Intercontinental Championship, all types of other stuff like that. Like he was vibing in 2002. What else was on the card? Do you have it still in front of you?
Yeah. After RVD Brock, Booker T versus Show.
That was good.
Un-Americans versus Edge and Hollywood Hogan.
I mean.
Alright. And then the triple threat.
Good solid pay-per-view. A lot of it, and then they also had that segment where Triple H is pretty much between Stephanie McMahon and Eric Bischoff because they're trying to court him to come to Raw. Shawn Michaels and it was like, yo, man, come with me. We going over Monday Night Raw. We gonna tear this up. So Triple H chooses to go to Raw because his man's is there.
That's when they tease the whole DX stuff, right? And then
absolutely. So you're just about to talk about that. DX reunited. This is the catch up. So this is everything between that show and the show that we're watching right now. So DX reunited for literally like 5 minutes. Was the greatest.
That was a nasty pedigree too. It didn't even really like. He didn't really like secure it right.
Nah, he let go of the arms and did a full like press into the man's head. Like
just threw him down.
But that was fire. Set up their feud. So also we had the introduction during this period of 3-minute warning. Remember 3-minute warning?
My son, Early Umaga Yeah, Rico. Was Rico with them at this time?
Nah, not yet.
Not yet. So it was Umaga.
Rosie and Rosie, which is Roman Reigns' brother, who passed away. Actually, both are passed away, which is sad.
R.I.P. Umaga, R.I.P. Rosie.
Yeah. So, but they showed up because this is the wildest thing ever. So, D'Lo Brown and Sean Stasiak wanted some. That's like the opening for a joke. That's like.
So D'Lo Brown and Stasiak walk into a bar.
They approach Eric Bischoff and was like, yo, we just want an opportunity on Raw. And Eric Bischoff's like, yo, y'all got 3 minutes. So like, wow me. So they get out and start having a wrestling match. I think D'Lo Brown puts in a rest hold and Eric Bischoff's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm trying to be entertained here. Like, the fuck are you doing? This is boring as hell, which I thought was wild to say, like in front of any wrestlers. Like, this is boring as hell.
Have you seen R.I.P. Inoki, but you've seen the clip where he beats on Doc Gallows? We need to bring that back. I'm pretty sure they do it and we don't see it, but we need to bring that back.
So anyway, he was like, this has gone on for too long, 3 minutes too long. Rosie and Jamal show up, big Samoan thugs with like wild, heavy Nietzsche and Fubu and all types of shit. Beat the shit out of people, and that's how they're introduced. And they would essentially, they did that the following week. They did it to Mae Young and Moolah.
Yeah, it was on a rampage. It was wilding.
They did it to Lillian Garcia. And yeah. Next note I have, Tazz is pretty much retired as he is officially the voice for SmackDown. Did you like Tazz and Michael Cole? I like Tazz and Michael Cole.
I liked it. It got better years later because watching like SmackDown in 2002, Michael Cole with no suit is just wicked to see. He pulling up in like the zipper flannel and shit. Yeah, like early Michael Cole with the standard WWE polos is weird. Like I like Cole and Tazz though. They was cool. There was a voice on UPN, all that shit. Like I enjoyed it.
Listen, Rey Mysterio makes his debut on SmackDown during this period.
Flies off the cage, right?
Yep. Looked great, man, for a debut. I was like, damn, looks phenomenal. Victoria makes her debut on Raw during this period. So shout out to Victoria. Would end up having a very, very long. Actually, she was in WWE for a long time. She was in OVW since 2000, damn near 1999.
God damn.
Yeah. She was her previous stint. She was on television briefly before this era, being one of the hoes for Godfather. That was right that he became the Good Father. So they were picketing against him, and they would like constantly get like kicked in the face and Samoan dropped and all types of other shit like that. Couple great matches during this period. You had Rock versus Ric Flair in North Carolina. You had Rock versus Eddie Guerrero.
That's one of my favorite matches.
I love that match, man. And then we got some brand shifts. So essentially, as Vince McMahon announces that Stephanie McMahon is the GM of Raw, there's like, if you're a superstar and you don't feel like it's adequate enough, you can move to any show that you want, which is essentially like, once Stone Cold left, they realized they had to switch around the shows a lot because it was very lopsided. Raw had no stars, not even one. I guess Undertaker, but like not really. But
I mean, yeah, it was really just.
Yeah, they pretty much, it was very, very lopsided. So the Un-Americans, Test, Christian, and Lance Storm, and Chris Jericho moved to Monday Night Raw. Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero moved to Friday Night SmackDown. And then we get to where we're at. Now, let me ask you, were you, in this era, were you a SmackDown guy or a Raw guy?
I'm looking at the rosters now. I was mainly like SmackDowners. Honestly. Yeah, it was, because looking at the roster, it really depended if like the champion was on the show. SmackDown had more of like the new up and comers. So like with this, it led to with like Jericho going to Raw. It led Heyman to like have to like create a new core because their mission was to beat Raw. Raw was forever gonna be the flagship. That's why we got the SmackDown 6 because Jericho went to Raw.
Right, pretty much. So, also want to introduce you to something that's also happening in the wrestling world at this time. NWA TNA. They'd started literally 2 months before this. They were having weekly pay-per-views. I want to share with you the roster of this show and see what did you think of pretty much one of their earliest rosters of NWA TNA. Look at this.
That's the NWA TNA.
This is as of the show that we're watching. This is the NWA TNA roster. AJ Styles, Alexis Lurie, which is Mickie James, of course.
Amazing Red,
Puerto Rican.
dog Bob Armstrong.
Brian
Lawler is crazy.
Rest in peace.
He died?
Yeah, he's definitely dead.
That's crazy. I didn't know
that. We were laughing at his death, but
Chase Stevens.
Was he? What was the name of his tag team?
Chase Stevens. Who the fuck he tagged with? I remember him, but like
I remember him tagging. It's somebody else on this list. Gotta be.
Let's see. Chris Harris, my dog Braden Walker. Trash. Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels. Don
my
West.
Dog Don West. I love Don West and Mike Tenay, bro.
Really? I like.
You ain't fuck with him?
Nah, I did, but like,
I love Don West because like
he don't shut up. That's my only thing.
Nah, it killed me with him because like I'm sure he knows like his wrestling stuff, whatever, right? But like he would commentate like he knew nothing. He's just there. Oh my god, he was bugging the fuck out. And Mike Tenay, his knowledge is crazy, and then he's got to like work with this. And then next segment, Mike Tenay is like watching Don West sell some shirts. Come to TNAshop.com. I love Spike TV TNA. Helix Skipper, James Mitchell.
Glenn
is that
Gilbert.
Disco Inferno?
That is Disco Inferno.
Glenn Gilberti.
Very, very Staten Island.
James Storm.
Should have took the tag. Jay Briscoe, Jeff Jarrett, Jeremy Borash, now works
Jerry
in
Lynn.
Jerry Lynn.
Jimmy Rave, RIP. He went outside. I feel bad.
Yeah, that's definitely sad.
My dog Jimmy Wang Yang.
All right, so here's the thing: like people remember Jimmy Wang Yang.
I definitely remember him.
But like, people shit on all these gimmicks. This is what I'll be talking about, like with the Bush stuff and stuff. People shit on all these gimmicks, but you're gonna remember Jimmy Wang Yang.
Hell yeah, it's so hard to forget an Asian cowboy wilding, doing flips.
Yeah.
Like
he was fire. So you know what? It is what it is. It was better than I think he was at Keo before, which was like not as cool. But Jimmy Yang, man.
Low key, the other Briscoe Mark, my dog Mike Tenay, Monty Brown, big goat. Love Monty Brown.
Legend in the Serengeti. There are no hills in the Serengeti. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Norman Smiley, my dog Percy, Prince Justice.
I can't tell you who that is. It might have been from WCW.
Hold on. Who the fuck?
Pull up Prince Justice. What are we looking at? He had to be in WCW. Only because I have no idea who he is, so I'm assuming he was.
Holy shit, that's Abyss. What? My son, Young Abyss.
Never mind.
This is prior to losing mad teeth and having scars, I'm assuming.
Damn. Before they did the
Shout out to Abyss.
Shout out to him.
TNA Kane.
Rick Steiner.
Okay, Ron Killings.
R-Truth. Sabu. Scott
Hall, R.I.P.
WWE getting fired there. Never missed a bag. And Shark Boy. You always got to remember Shark Boy.
That's a weird roster. Like you have all these like mix of like legends and indie legends at this point. Shark Boy.
The champions at this time, the first ever NWA TNA champion, Ken Shamrock. But at the point of this show, he had just lost it to R-Truth. who Ron Killings still is the only black NWA champion ever that's ever existed.
Pull up this is 02. So pull up the ROH roster because they started around February.
Ooh, you're right. Okay, hold on.
And I know between then TNA, NWA, they were like sharing talent.
There's like 12 people here.
Oh, let me see. Because like at that point they were just getting all these people left and right.
Pull it up. Let me screenshot it. Hold on. It's funny. Let me see. I'll pull it up. But initially, yes. AJ Styles is the first X Division champion. He would lose it to Low Key. First TNA champion Ken Shamrock would lose it to Ron Killings, and then there was a tag team championship stuff that was vacated around this time. Let me pull it up. Let's see. ROH.
AJ, Amazing Red, Brian Kendrick, Brian Danielson.
Come on, man.
Christian York.
Not to be confused with Chris Jericho, current ROH debut.
Daniels, Doug Williams, Homicide, that's fire. Jay Briscoe, Joey Matthews, my dog Lil Guido, Low Key, Mafia, Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, Paul London, Prince Nana's been there forever.
I was a big Paul London guy.
Huh?
I was a big Paul London guy.
I fuck with Paul London. Real shit.
His shoot, him and Brian Kendrick shoot, one of the greatest of all time. Just like smacked out of their mind, and just talking shit about the WWE, and like, of course, I smiled during that Vince segment. Like, why the fuck would you not? But nonetheless, so this was the era of professional wrestling around this time. It was getting crazy. Wow, but we were definitely in a new era. There was no Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's clearly no new stars. We were making a bunch of stars that we're going to see actually on the show. So we're talking about Smackdown, August 8th, 2002, emanating live from the Richmond Coliseum. It kicks off with this amazing video package, a pay-per-view quality video package. We're talking about Hulk, all the giants that Hulk Hogan toppled and all the people that he beat and stuff like that. And while showing the new threat that is Brock Lesnar, who is showing up in the summer of 2002. Brock Lesnar. What were your first initial thoughts seeing Brock Lesnar?
This guy's beast. He's a monster.
Nah, he's
shit. How old was Brock at this time? Like what? In his early 20s? Like mid 20s?
I want to say like 24 or 25.
God damn, like yo, bro.
He ends up becoming the youngest WWE champion in a couple of weeks, but he's beating The Rock, who's the former youngest WWE champion ever. But he was only 24, 25 during this era. He showed up, he debuted the night after. WrestleMania 18, beat the holy crap out of Spike Dudley, as you do. Spike Dudley.
I remember him stepping on Scene Wallin. I think it was during the hardcore match, right?
Yeah.
Throwing everybody.
Beat up Al Snow, beat up Maven, beat up Spike Dudley.
Oh!
He had initially started out with that triple power bomb with the spin, which was insane.
Wardlow should do that.
Instead of just picking up and power bombing people one by one.
I don't want to get into like AEW talk because it's ghetto wrestling. But like Wardlow, you should do that.
Yo, they loaded Brock Lesnar into SmackDown Shut Your Mouth almost immediately. It was like, no. Get him in here. This game comes out October 2002. Brock Lesnar debuts in 2002, which is damn near unheard of, honestly. Unless you're like, you know what? This is not an AEW podcast, so we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, we're not talking about
that. But nonetheless, everyone was big on Brock Lesnar. Legitimately, the next big thing as you walked in, you can see it's why he's one of the reasons why Stone Cold left. Anyone to job him. He's one of the reasons.
Damn kid.
He's he had a set of matches with the Hardy Boys where he took all those chair shots to the face.
Craziest chair shots I've ever like.
Nah, it's
at that
ridiculous.
time.
Like CTE was like booming.
You could hear that while you're
Yeah.
sitting with Sting.
Won King of the Ring by defeating RVD. Defeats RVD again the following pay-per-view in a non-title match. But still, like, man, this guy was absolutely tearing up. He was on Monday Night Raw to initially begin. He's eventually moved to Friday Night Smackdown. He's essentially poached by Stephanie McMahon for the show. And he's been whooping people ass since then. He beat up Rikishi on his first night out. He beat up Mark Henry on his second night out. Like, Brock Lesnar, the summer
crazy.
Nah, it was definitely real. And there was only one main event for SummerSlam that could have been, lived up to this opportunity, and it's Rock versus Brock at SummerSlam. But before we get to Rock versus
I love
Brock,
that match.
I love it too. Like, and I love the build up for that match too. Before we get to Rock versus Brock, we got to do Brock versus Hogan. In the main
Party's
event,
over, Grandpa. Early.
but before we get to the main event of the show, which is Brock versus Hulk Hogan, they kick things off with the very rare, very untalked about second match between Kurt Angle and John Cena.
Word.
I think this match
came out young Cena, where he had like the My Rise shorts, like he just didn't have gear yet.
Carolina Blue My Rise shorts. He had it in every flavor, which is crazy. I was like, yo, that is dedicated. Like, he never wore the same color.
Yeah, I appreciate him for doing that. Like, once you wear the same color, like, what's bro's name? Madcap. He wouldn't even got gear like that.
Nah,
bro, you gotta switch the flavor.
Madcap Wallin. He had the fatigue Kurt Angle thing, which was my favorite gears from him. I put in my notes, it was great seeing these early John Cena matches because he looks incredibly bland, like a Madcap Moss or Ezekiel. But
That's
you can
what I'm
saying. You can tell he has something. Like, you can tell
spunk. You've got spunk, kid.
Right. Like, you can tell with Madcap Moss that he got something. There's something there. He's still a little like too nice, but there's something there with actually ability and stuff like that. John Cena definitely showed the same kind of promise, and people were enamored by him. People love John Cena, believe it or not, even though there was not much to like grab onto.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I have in my notes, Kurt Angle's performing like this 3 years into his career. Like, to be performing at the level he's performing at, he debuted in 1999. To be performing at this level, like, we've seen people who come out 3 years from NXT and they still wrestle like they have two left feet. For Kurt Angle to be like main event, wrestling top guys, putting over young guys, I'm like, yo, Kurt Angle's a fucking beast.
I love Kurt Angle.
The match ends when Benoit comes out of nowhere, just completely unprovoked, whatever. Just Benoit shows up and puts a crossface on John Cena. And then Rey Mysterio shows up to help, and then Eddie Guerrero drops in, and then Edge shows up, and John Cena wins by disqualification.
The young core. Early Edge. Well, I mean, not early Edge, but like he was still young, and
I would say this is still early Edge. Like, this is like early like Edge as we know it, not Edge
singles Edge.
Well, this is true, yeah. Then we have Mark Lloyd. Do you remember Mark Lloyd at all?
Mark Lloyd?
He was the interview guy.
Him.
He was like Kevin Kelly, but like younger.
Yeah.
And, like,
all right. So like I was seeing him throughout the show, and I'm like, this guy's trash. Like, because it wasn't like he was putting any effort into it. Kurt Angle, man, what are your thoughts? I'm like, put something. Act like you interviewing somebody. I feel like I feel like they had to call the audible with that. Yo, just get Mark.
Just get Mark Lloyd, bro. He interviews Eddie and Benoit, asking them why they came to SmackDown. This is like a week after they come to SmackDown. To which Kurt Angle pops up and like, Pete this Holmes. Which is
wow. They were wilding with the this is early shit when they could get away with it. Now it's like, yo, bro,
relax. Benoit and Eddie said they came to SmackDown because the best competition is there, and eventually set up the 3-on-3 match that we would see later on in the night. Second match of the show: Reverend Devon versus Mark Henry. Thoughts on Reverend Devon?
I don't know why they did that.
Testify. That's literally why.
But like, all right, I get it have being like a catchphrase, but you don't gotta act on it and make it a whole character.
I feel
early
like
Batista
in the Madcap Moss.
OD Madcap Dave, like yo, bro, what?
I love Reverend Devon's theme, but nah, they definitely like, to me, if this was a gimmick that like Vince came up with like 20 years later, there would be like 4 weeks of vignettes before we actually get to Reverend Devon. They just put Reverend Devon on TV and were just like, yo. And
I think Bubba talked about it on his whatchamacallit, his Broken Skull, why they split him, if I'm correct.
They were bored.
Yeah, they were bored. Yeah, at this point they already did everything.
They were
like the Beacon.
They were trying something new. It was better than literally Bubba Ray's on Raw just breakdancing and just beating up people and hanging out with Trish Stratus.
He was getting his shit in. He was trying to make plays. You
feel me? Mark Henry comes out. I have in my notes, Mark Henry with the extensions is insane.
Crazy.
Maybe ahead of his time, but also insane.
Yeah, like I was nuts. Early Mark. It's crazy because all these guys that are here, it's like, all right, I think it's just like the production. So like you would look at Raw and it was a bit like, I guess the atmosphere was a little bit darker in a sense.
Yeah, there's definitely a
SmackDown, that blue hue, everything's brighter and it's just a whole different show.
It just feels like, I don't know. There's something about Raw is like, all right, its gimmick is that it's live and it's like anything can happen kind of thing.
Yeah.
But SmackDown is like, yo, we going through it. So like when you see like, for instance, it's Mark Henry versus Reverend Devon Batista match. Anyway, it ends because Rikishi shows up and interferes, which causes the DQ. Mark Henry does not stay to help out Rikishi or anything. He literally.
That's on you, Bob. Like, just dipped on him.
So Rikishi has a match with Batista. The impromptu fight leads to an official match. Miscommunication leads to Devon accidentally striking Batista. And Rikishi gets the win on Batista's first loss in the WWE ever. I mean, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's Rikishi, so you got that.
They send him, but I don't think they have any actual. I think Batista gets. I want to say he gets injured, or they don't have any actual plans, because I remember they don't really do anything with him until like the end of the year, until they pair him with Ric Flair, randomly.
Yeah, I think he does get hurt.
He definitely does, and probably as he is. So anyway, he's like 30 something in this match. I was like, damn,
old
30,
ass.
Old guy.
Early Batista, but still old. Like,
Brock Lesnar pulls up and say he's going into Hulk Hogan's locker room and just pulls up with the smoke. He's like, whatever. Very to scare Hogan, I've put he might as well have brought a gun. Hogan goads Brock into putting his SummerSlam title shot on the line, to which Heyman's like, yo, what did you just do? Like, this is Hulk Hogan. He's got like he's got like backstage powers, Hulkamaniac powers, all types of things. Like, you can't just think it's a foregone conclusion you're going to beat Hulk Hogan.
He's Hulk Hogan.
But Brock Lesnar, he got the young boy energy, man. You out here.
Got the dog in him early.
He young and gunning it. Randomly out of nowhere, Tori Wilson is beating up Nydia half naked for whatever reason. Just like a fight that just comes out of nowhere. And Billy Kidman is supposedly there too. He's in the background.
Oh yeah, they had that whole little. It's crazy to. So like, I'm watching the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is there ever like superstars that they just belong to a show?
Yes.
So like when we get to it later, when we get to the whole Billy Kidman stuff and who else is on the show? Hurricane's on the show.
Hurricane's on the show, right? About to talk to him. About to talk about him right now.
All right, so get to that, and then I'm like, it's weird seeing Hurricane on SmackDown, but if you get Shane Helms, it's okay to me. Cause like to me, like Hurricane is like synonymous with Raw. I don't know, like I just feel like that.
No, you're right. You're right because he ends up being on Raw for like mad years
For
after that.
OD, and then he's having a little mini feud with The Rock. Like he's just synonymous with Raw. Then when he's regular, like Shane Helms, cruiserweight champion, SmackDown's like I don't know. It's weird. It's with certain people like Dudley Boys. Forever just Raw. Rikishi Raw. Like
Billy and Chuck with Rico versus Shannon Moore and the Hurricane, which is one of the saddest tag team matches because the tag team champions defected to Raw, so there's no tag team champion. So they're fighting for like I don't even know what they're fighting for. But I like this match because it's like this wild, huge tag team versus like the completely undersized cruiserweights.
This was like early in the Billy and Chuck storyline, right? They haven't
this actually was kind of close to the end.
Closing to the end?
Yeah, we're getting like close to the end of Billy and Chuck. Like in about a month, one of them is gonna get injured, and then next year Billy goes back to being Mr. Ass, and then Chuck becomes Italian. Which my favorite FBI Chuck is just makes sense.
Chuck Palumbo.
They put the Palumbo.
Came back years later as a biker, like a boofy biker taker, but it's Chuck Palumbo.
Riding around with Michelle McCool.
Exactly.
Oh God. Anyway, I put in this. Do you have a favorite Shannon Moore moment?
No. Because I don't, bro. I couldn't tell you anything about Shannon Moore. He was just there. He was just pals with the Hardys and all of them. So I was like, that's all I took it for.
I mean, his man's got on and they brought him up too. So it was pretty.
And then years later, he was on ECW with the face paint wilding. And
there you go. But he never did anything of note.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He was a cool hand. Cool hand Shannon.
AEW should bring him in.
Sure, they gotta. All right.
It's not that bad. They set up for the code red, and Shannon Moore hits the victory roll, wins for the big upset. Shannon Moore and the Hurricane defeat Billy and Chuck for what? Doesn't matter. There's no tag team championships on SmackDown. Not yet. Wouldn't be for like 3 more months. We got John Cena, Edge, and Rey Mysterio backstage. This is the infamous segment that they had to retape.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like waiting for it, and then I realized they for sure fixed it.
Where Rey Mysterio completely falls, trying to do pull-ups on that flimsy ass shelf, which like you break a shelf, like this ain't your arena.
Yeah, like you gotta pay for that, and I mean that shit was hilarious. Just falls. I wouldn't be able to hold it either. Edge is crying, laughing.
Oh, well, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Please don't flag us, WWF. Come on, man.
I don't think they're gonna flag you for that.
Let me see. I can't even find it. I want to find the straight up clip. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Hold on. Let me see. I can pull this up. Pull it up. Don't flag me just for this, bro. No. It's too short, so there's no way they're gonna flag me for this.
No.
Listen, come on.
Feel it.
Nah, the way Ray falls, just slowly just goes down.
Bruh, classic. Edge says, "Screw being the future of SmackDown. The future is now." So we're gonna accept their 6-man tag. We have the Tower of Power JVC moment of the night.
Crazy, right?
Did you have a Tower?
Sell these stereos. No, I didn't.
Do you have any stereo?
Yeah. I forgot the name of the brand, but like I'm in a Hispanic family. They got like the whole little cabinet of like some old joint and whatever. Yeah, but it wasn't JVC. I know that.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I did have one.
JVC seemed brolic. I was like, yo, I'm just trying to play music here.
Big ass.
But the part Tower of Power JVC moment of the night is the crossface we just saw like 40 minutes ago.
I loved how back then the replays were like in 20 frame rate, like we just seen it happen live, man, clear, and then the replays was just like at a crazy frame rate.
That's Kevin Dunn, baby.
He's walling like you just play. At least now they play it where it's clearer.
Right. Heyman goes into Stephanie McMahon's office, and Stephanie McMahon is still looking for Dawn Marie for whatever reason. I didn't even know she was on SmackDown.
People were just there, like just biding some time before they shook it up again.
Just vibing.
Yeah, like you feel me?
Tried getting Heyman tries to get the stipulation pulled, and he doesn't because Stephanie McMahon's like, oh my god, that was such a great idea to put the number one contendership for SummerSlam, because we either going to get Rock versus Brock at SummerSlam or we're going to get Rock versus Hogan too. And I'm like, would we have wanted Rock versus Hogan too?
Did you like Rock versus Hogan too? Years later?
Yes, because I'm a big Hollywood Rock guy, and I thought that match was ridiculous. I'm a big fan because of how ridiculous that match is. I don't even know if Hogan realized how ridiculous this match was going to be. He was just like, whatever, I'm just going to do whatever. Rock was just wilding out. We get the 6-person tag. Edge, Rey Mysterio, John Cena versus Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. This is peak SmackDown right here. This is like...
I noticed the crowd was like very like lively in this era.
Listen.
It was up.
Richmond Coliseum is a wrestling town. They got a lot of WCW stuff, so they're very big on wrestling and stuff like that. But getting like this, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, that's like a dream team right there. Fact. And then like Edge, Rey Mysterio, John Cena. I was pitching for them to do that last year at MSG. I was like, yo, just you got all three there. Yeah, just do it.
I'm glad Peacock paid the fee, or WWE, whoever, that they kept the Rob Zombie theme.
Ooh, I did not like the Rob Zombie theme.
You wasn't fucking with it?
Nah, Metalingus is all the way. Rob Zombie.
What?
Never gonna tell me, never gonna... I hate that shit.
Do what you want. That shit was fire. But I'm glad like they paid it, like the licensing for it. Because like some episodes on the network or in some pay-per-views, like they just don't have a theme.
Hogan's Jimi Hendrix theme.
Yeah, they ain't paying that. That's crazy.
You might get flagged just for me doing that,
right? I don't think Rob Zombie gonna flag me. But
the Latino Heat Benoit shit made me pop. Latino Heat. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Oh, and Benoit has his theme here too.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. Great tag team match. Just overall, it's a classic. You could throw that up on YouTube. Well, WWE's never gonna throw it up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's over for that.
Because that's
any fire match you've seen with the guy in trunks and a missing tooth, it's over. Like you're not getting that uploaded.
So many fire matches that will never be revisited.
Yeah, like WrestleMania 20 main event probably never happened, bro. It was a Shawn and HB. It was a Shawn and Hunter match.
We will never see that again unless someone comes out with a Chris Benoit documentary, and even still, WWE's not licensing out their fucking Chris Benoit footage at all. Rey Mysterio gets the win over Angle with the West Coast Pop. West Coast Pop would probably be the end of Rey Mysterio's knees as we know it. Between that 619 and West Coast Pop, yeah, he was probably like, all right, my knees can't do this anymore. That's why he ends up doing the senton, the seated senton, which was not as cool.
Yeah, it's not fire. The tadpole splash. I'm like, all right, bro.
We got a Triple X ad drop for the movie starring Vin Diesel, which I remember seeing in theaters, but I can't tell you what that movie was about.
It was Vin Diesel wilding. That's really it. He was just like an agent, and then they have him do some shit in Russia, and then it's a Vin Diesel movie, bro. You really can't expect much from that.
Listen, yeah, I can't. Nah, I was gonna read the plot, and then I was like, nah, this plot is too long.
It's trash. Ice Cube ended up being in, I think, 2 or 3. He
Ooh.
took the Triple X mantle. That shit was trash.
To which Tazz and Michael Cole said, speaking of Triple X, because Jamie Noble and Nydia are out with Billy Kidman and Tori Wilson in this tag team match. Shout out to Jamie Noble and Nydia. Unsung gimmick of the era.
He was fucking with Jamie Noble.
Yeah, a heavy. Someone who can do the gimmick right and very clear short man complex, but still like also heavy. I don't know. He was just really good at what he did. He was great in the ring. He was great on the mic. Man was just great overall. Like they said, someone on Twitter hit me up and said, Jamie Noble made the cruiserweight title feel important because it was like he was always fighting for his life because it was like this was like all he had, and
everybody wanted his girl.
Rich. Yeah, it made him rich. And then he had
I feel him. I feel it.
Billy Kidman and Tori Wilson, who I guess they were dating and they just put them together, but they never acknowledged it like on the show.
Yeah, nah, it was just like, and goes for Tori too. Whenever I think of Tori Wilson, like Monday Night Raw, like
really,
yeah.
Nah, she a big SmackDown person for me for sure.
Really?
Like, cause she had like an endless I think she was on Raw for a little bit, but like her biggest programs were always on SmackDown. She had like a million bra and panties matches with Stacy Keibler on SmackDown. And like the Dawn Marie program that's about to happen is on SmackDown with her dad.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then the Sable stuff is on SmackDown. So I always associate her with SmackDown. Anyway, she's wrestling in pajamas. No gear, just pajamas and low top.
So I gotta do it. Just pull up and just scrap. Sometimes that's all what it calls for.
This is Nydia's first ever televised match after winning Tough Enough. So shout out to her. She wins. She wins the match.
That's fine.
Next segment, I have administration issues because they make this big deal of like, Stephanie McMahon's been looking for these documents all night. So Dawn Marie pulls up to Stacy Keibler, who is, I guess, like, I'm like, what's the hierarchy here? Because y'all both kind of assistants.
Like, I guess because one is taller.
Dawn is like, I have these documents here for Stephanie. Where are they? And Stacy's like, she's been looking for you all night. Where have you got? And she's like, I have the documents now. Stacy Keibler mentions that in the segment that does not age well at all. It says Vince McMahon is at the Marriott. He's over there. To which Dawn Marie's like, at the Marriott, huh? She's like, yeah, this exact suite, this exact place. And so Dawn Marie rushes over to the Marriott to presumably have sex with Vince McMahon, or to talk about documents or something. I don't know. Ages terribly in 2022.
Oh yeah, I'm like, all right. Little does she know.
Stacy Keibler then takes the documents, and hides them under the couch. And Stephanie McMahon is like, yo, where's Dawn Marie? I heard she left the building now. And she's like, yeah, I think she went out to go meet your dad or something at the Marriott. Never gives her the documents. And then from the shadows in the room, Eric Bischoff pulls up.
He pulled up so crazy.
He just pulled up in a section, like beneath.
Like mad wild.
Man.
You got him? Yo, what?
And I'm like, what documents? What are these documents? Like, they never explain what these documents are about, which is the wildest thing to me. I'm like, yo, so like
they probably watched it back and like, yeah, this is dumb.
Yeah, whatever. But you know what?
He pulled out the corner so crazy.
They were doing, I would say, this era of WWE in terms of the brand split. This was like the first, like, this was like pretty much the only legit like brand warfare. We're doing like dirty shit, your wrestlers and like take your talent and like beat up your GMs and et cetera like that. So you know what? Double Agent Stacy Keibler, she's gonna eventually get what's coming to her because Stephanie McMahon just SmackDown.
Yeah.
And she's gonna get what's coming to her. And then we have Hulk Hogan cutting a promo with Mark Lloyd. Big "what you gonna do" vibes.
What you gonna do, brother? I've got 100 Hulkamaniacs. The Brock doesn't have Hulkamaniacs. I'm like, all right.
I can see you're watching it just from the red and yellow lights going off in the
Yeah,
back.
like I'm like, cause I watched it the other day, and then I have it going now just to follow up. And I'm like, yo, bro, Hollywood Hogan is so crazy. I thought it was. I don't like Hulk Hogan. Like I was never like a Hulk Hogan fan, but I like Hollywood Hogan because he was just ridiculous.
I would say in this era, this is pre us finding out that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I was a big fan because somehow the ridiculousness, he got sports entertainment. Like the hulking up shit is ridiculous.
So yeah, I won't take that away from Hulk Hogan. Like he knew how to work a crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had them in the palm of his hands no matter what. Then when you realize how big of a dick he is, it's like, all right, bro, it's not gonna work for me, brother.
This got a big match feel. Main event of SmackDown. I remember watching the SmackDown because it was preempted. I'm pretty sure it was a Yankees game was why this was preempted, because they aired it on like Saturday afternoon. They didn't air this in New York on its regular Thursday slot. Massive powerbomb and a cover, but Hogan kicks out. Hogan hulks up, and I'm like, damn, I really went up for this as a kid because he does the hulk up, 3 punches, 1 boot. But Brock pops back up, goes for the F5. Hogan slips out. He does it again with the big boot again. Heyman gets knocked off the apron. He hits the leg drop on Brock Lesnar. It's supposed to be it. It's not. Brock Lesnar kicks out the drop. Listen, it's insane. He tries to use whatever the embers left of Hulkamania and continues to hook up the third time. Like he tries to hook up again. But Heyman grabs his leg as he goes for the leg drop one more time. Brock Lesnar grabs him from behind, hits him with the F5, and instead of covering him, he goes for the bear hug, the Brock lock. And them old damn blood pills and blood capsules in the mouth.
Blood capsules flowing.
Just like you got to spit him up. Internal bleeding. This was the internal bleeding era. We don't do internal bleeding anymore for whatever. Well, we don't do any bleeding anymore. But Rock used to have big internal bleeding things. Hogan, I remember Rock had it when Rikishi did the drop shit, the bonsai drop on him, started bleeding out of his mouth. But yeah, Brock Lesnar beats the holy shit out of Hulk Hogan. Doesn't even leave him. He leaves the ring. He comes back. He beats him up with a steel chair again. Then he takes the blood and he wipes it across his chest. And I was like, damn.
Beats on Terry.
Sent a message to The Rock and Hulk Hogan. Says, get down and lay down. And after this, we wouldn't see Hulk Hogan left until 2003. This is the last time this year that Hulk Hogan was appearing in a WWE ring. Wouldn't see him until he starts his feud with The Rock and, of course, Vince McMahon. But listen, Brock Lesnar, he's on a rock. This is probably the most legit way to put over a talent and make him seem like a big deal that they've ever done.
For real.
Because, like,
he was on a tear.
I don't think you could do this in 2022. Like, make someone go from literally debuting a nobody to being WWE champion within the span of 4 months.
Yeah,
they did it with Sheamus, but like even niggas ain't fuck with Sheamus like that.
Yeah, I didn't respect Sheamus' game till later in his career.
But I think Brock Lesnar, because he was a freak of nature, he had the look, he had a fire name. Because Brock Lesnar is like, wow, scares the living shit out of you.
He's like a really like a once in a lifetime type of thing.
Yeah. Legit.
I was like, yo, like he's just so brolic, and he had the athleticism to back it up.
He's huge. He can run. He can jump. He can do everything. Like,
we ain't getting that for quite some time.
That's why he was like, yo, I could do football if I wanted to. Man did football and MMA. Just
He's
off
Brock
this.
Lesnar, bro.
Let
Won
me
the title in MMA too. I don't even think he was that really great of a fighter, but he's Brock Lesnar. He's a beast.
He had diverticulitis and still
Yeah,
won
that's
the
nuts. Illness
Yeah.
took him out. That's how you know he's crazy, bro. An illness had to take him out.
But this is
He
Brock.
didn't want to fold up like what's his name. An illness had to take him out.
Absolutely. But this is the summer of Brock Lesnar is definitely real. This would be pretty much the crowning of the next big thing. In a matter of weeks, he's going to become undisputed champion and pretty much have a run for the next 2 years in the WWE before he decides to give it all up because he don't
That's
want to
what's
do.
nuts. Like his run is literally just like 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out.
And they don't even like reference it a lot nowadays because like his current run is way more scarier and way more than his previous run.
Old man Brock, scary as fuck.
Yeah. Listen, tractors, come on. Machinery. Willing to lose.
Tractors, machinery.
Listen, willing to lose to Roman Reigns this many times is only because of stuff like this, like him getting put over by Hulk Hogan, him getting put over by The Rock, him getting put over by John Cena, Undertaker, everything like that. Like all this stuff is happening that leads up to now where Brock Lesnar is able to put over Roman Reigns as the guy. And yeah, I mean, Summer Brock was real. I'm trying to see, was there anything in the Wrestling Observer News report that I need to do before we go?
How do you think it would have went had he stood another year?
Oh, okay. So Brock Lesnar stayed another year. I think about this all the time. You know, I've also been thinking of what if Stone Cold Steve Austin never left? But if Brock,
a lot of things change if Austin never left.
If Brock stays another year, the John Cena and Batista thing don't happen when they happen.
I can see that, yeah.
Because Brock legitimately was the star of the show, and they were prepared to continue to like coast with Brock Lesnar. Like I think he would eventually have ended up on Raw, because he'd done everything on SmackDown. He'd lost to Eddie Guerrero. He'd done everything. He probably would have been drafted to Raw, and maybe like Triple H be drafted to SmackDown or Evolution be drafted to SmackDown or something.
That'd be a weird sight.
Yeah, that'd be weird. So, but because you don't need Brock Lesnar and Evolution on the same show because it's gonna impede everything you're doing.
Yeah.
But I think the John Cena Batista thing would have definitely slowed down a bit if he had stayed like another year to like WrestleMania 21. And who was big that year? We probably would have got like Brock Lesnar versus Triple H though at the end or something along those lines. So like maybe
I
Brock.
can see that. We probably would have got that at Mania if anything.
Yeah, I feel like it.
It'd just be so weird to like see Brock in 2004 onward.
Yeah.
And it goes to show you like how ready they were to like fuck it, he's gone.
But that's the same thing they did when Austin left, right? So I've been doing a lot of research on Austin left since we did the episode like last week or so. But I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. The reason why Brock Lesnar got I think he was always going to get this major push, but the real reason why they like strapped the rocket fully on him was because Austin left and they didn't have any new guys. They didn't decide, and one of the reasons why Austin left is because they didn't have any new guys for him to face. They didn't make anybody, so they're trying to make Brock Lesnar at the expense of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was like, "I'm out, fuck that shit."
Also, they were gonna do that on like free TV. He wanted to do it for pay-per-view, no?
Yeah, he wanted to do it on a pay-per-view. They were planning Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar as the round 1 King of the Ring qualifying match.
That's nuts. Like what?
And I was like, nah. You could have did that with anybody else, literally anybody else, which they did with somebody else. But it, to me, like because of that, we got a bunch of new stars when Brock left. There were only a couple of game changers in WWE. Like when Brock left, they were like, oh, okay, we got to make new stars. Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena. That's when their time came up, was in the era that Brock Lesnar kind of like left because they cashed in all their chips, and I think that's why Vince was so mad at Brock for leaving and try to pull that like you can't compete in wrestling anywhere for the next like decade type shit, and that's what the lawsuit happens. Because Brock Lesnar is like, hey, I'm a thing worker. What's they call it? What do wrestlers? Independent contractor.
Oh,
I'm an
okay.
independent contractor. Yeah, you can't not have me work somewhere for 10 years. Yeah, so it says on his Wikipedia, Lesnar had previously signed a non-compete clause in order to be released from WWE, which prohibited him from working to any other professional wrestling companies before June 2010. So he challenged his ruling in court. WWE responded with a counterclaim after Lesnar breached their agreement by appearing at New Japan in 2004. In 2005, both, dropped their claims, try to renew their relationship. WWE offered Lesnar a contract, but on August 2nd, 2005, I remember this specifically, the official website reported that Lesnar had withdrawn any involvement in the company, and it eventually gets settled. But yeah, there was also talks of Brock Lesnar coming back in 2005.
Then in like 06, he was the IWGP. Well, it was a weird situation with that.
But it's crazy.
Yeah. It was all his Inoki shit.
Vibing. But that's the summer of Brock Lesnar, and that's this episode of the Draft Diaries. Rob, thank you for coming through.
You already know.
Next episode of the Draft Diaries, we will be covering, it should be a surprise to no one, SummerSlam 2002.
What a great SummerSlam.
From top to bottom. Even
top 5, I would say. I'd have to run through. I don't even. Yeah, it might be a league of its own.
Yeah, to be honest,
like
it's different. Like it really is, but it's a really good SummerSlam. So make sure you guys check that out before you tap into the next episode of the Draft Diaries. Follow Rob at Ugly New York on Twitter, and make sure you guys listen to Ugly Radio.
Facts. You already know. We here.
Follow
Ugly
the
Hours.
As you can see on all this stuff bottom on here, follow the 8 shows, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Spotify, and just follow us on Twitter. And thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next time.